From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, January the 31st, 2022. Israel's President Isaac Herzog, together with his wife Michal, arrived yesterday, he tweeted, for the first visit by an Israeli president in the United Arab Emirates. Welcomed to Abu Dhabi by UAE Foreign Minister Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed. Herzog then met with Crown Prince Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed at his palace, greeted by Israel's national anthem. Herzog said of Hatikva playing in the UAE, that's what peace between nations looks like and sounds like. Last night, Herzog met with Jewish community leaders in Abu Dhabi. Today, he toured the Grand Mosque in the capital, where he warned against Iran. Herzog said there are only two alternatives for this region. One is peace, prosperity, cooperation, joint investments, and a beautiful horizon for the people. Or alternatively, what Iran is doing, which is destabilizing the region and using its proxies to employ terror. These are the two alternatives, and this visit symbolizes hope, peace, and a great future for our nations, the region, and the world at large. Herzog also met today with Dubai's ruler, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, and opened Israel's National Day at the Dubai Expo. Also welcomed there with the playing of Hatikva and an honor guard. The president tweeted the expo is a remarkable celebration of the world's nations, all represented with pride. It is a reminder of what can be accomplished when we collaborate to break down borders and work for a better future together. Well, outrage today at a report set to be released tomorrow by Amnesty International UK, which accuses Israel of apartheid. Israel's foreign ministry called on the human rights organization to withdraw the report, which it calls false, biased, and anti-Semitic, saying its extremist language and distortion of historical context were designed to demonize Israel and pour fuel onto the fire of anti-Semitism. The Conference of Presidents of major American Jewish organizations, together with the Anti-Defamation League, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, the American Jewish Committee, B'nai B'rith International, and the Jewish Federations of North America issued a joint statement in response to the report, writing this libelous document resorts to baseless apartheid accusations against Israel, among other distortions, which it writes fuels those anti-Semites around the world who seek to undermine the only Jewish country on earth, while simultaneously cheapening and downplaying the horrific suffering that was a result of apartheid in South Africa, which they stressed has no equivalence to a vibrant democracy where all citizens have rights and representation in the national legislature. Adding the report makes no secret of its true intention, which is to cast aspersions on the state of Israel, which it portrays as illegitimate, starting at its creation in May of 1948, referring there to page 20 of the Amnesty report. The joint letter calls on all parties of good faith to condemn this ideologically driven polemic and instead focus on efforts that will bring the parties together rather than instigate more distrust and divisiveness. Some 20 neo-Nazis demonstrated in the Orlando, Florida area over the weekend, wearing swastikas and holding Nazi banners, stepping on Israeli flags, making the Nazi salute, and yelling hateful anti-Semitic slurs and threats at passers-by. Banners were also hung over the I-4 highway in Orlando. Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer wrote, "Anti-Semitism and hatred are not welcome in this community. Despite displays of hate in Central Florida this weekend, our collective commitment to building an inclusive, compassionate community for all is stronger than ever." Well, the news that Mouse was being removed from McMinn County, Tennessee's school curriculum by its board has brought the Pulitzer Prize-winning graphic novel more attention and distribution. Mouse, widely seen as a cornerstone to school Holocaust education, is being given away to students in the area for free by a local comic book store. being discussed at a local church. A Holocaust and German Studies professor at Davidson College in North Carolina has launched an online course about the book exclusively for McMinn County students. And Mouse, originally published in the late 1980s and early 90s, is now among the top books on Amazon's bestseller list. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, January the 31st at 7 o'clock, Ellie Cohanim speaks with Einat Wilf about her book, The War of Return. At 7:30, it's FIDF Live with a look back at how the IDF blazed forward in 2021. At 8, an Anti-Defamation League panel talks about disinformation and what can be done to stop it with Will Sommer, Lisa Kaplan, and Imran Ahmed. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Jay Goldberg on L'chaim to talk about his career as both prosecutor and defense attorney in some of the nation's most high-profile cases. At 10, Charles Bronfman speaks at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up next, Shahar Azani speaks with Josh Kraft, president of Kraft Family Philanthropies, among which is the Foundation to Combat Antisemitism. He discusses anti-Semitism in Colleyville, Texas, and beyond, asking what is being done to combat it. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, January the 31st, 2022. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.